This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
And
the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a first carry for their fullback. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. Snap comes to Murray at 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. Charles Clay, 38 yards. yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Under 10.
This is Carson. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now Wilson, and it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and that will force a turnover on downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. This complete to the tight end Clay. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17. On 1st down, Drake. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. Escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. They're going for it. It's Murray. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Brendan, let's file this play away for later. Let's note this play because, to me, it's not out of the question that the decision to pass up the 3 there could come back to haunt them later on.
Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. Check 13.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
It's easy work. It's coming again.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Tight on the left. Move. 3 down.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis in this first half of action. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line's 50, line's 50. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe.
Wilson now to throw on third down. They set up the screen to Lynch. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. The linebacker, Brooks Reed, with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. To throw is Murray. And an alley to run. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. From the gun, it's Drake. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Murray now on 1st down. It's complete to Drake. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Murray now. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kenyon Drake in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not a great return here. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right?
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. That's fielded in the end zone. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Looking to throw again on second down. Murray, only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Third and short, Drake. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They needed a yard. They got it. First down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Drake. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Throwing is Murray on third down. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Chandler Jones just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 22. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Don't get nervous. 50 seconds. Mike, 50.
After the turnover, here's Murray. And he hits Drake. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And now it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rodney Gunter. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Wilson. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. He wants it all for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 37 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable for Lockett. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson now to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. He'll find Metcalf. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Safety's creeping. Check. Fresno. Check. Alert 3. Shit. Shit.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Byron Murphy.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's 1 timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That goes for 14 yards, 1st down Cardinals.
A gain of 14. 1st down, Arizona.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Seattle, so long, everybody.
live for me. Keep it real for me. We